Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So this is a message that is I feel very important, and one that today is the perfect day to give it because it's, again, the Lionsgate portal.
It's a very, very good message, important for everyone to kind of let it absorb.
Yes, and if you haven't checked out evolutionaryenergyarts.com, please do. Read some testimonials, learn about spiritual healing, physical healing, different educational resources. There's a lot going on over there that is going to be expanding because we do absolutely intend to expand it greatly. Also, yesterday on Patreon, we had this powerful Lionsgate portal manifestation ritual. We're going to be sharing a lot more about like how do you integrate like different rituals, and how do you really truly live a quote-unquote more spiritual life, recognizing that you are a multi-dimensional being that is more than just a physical body. You, again, have a physical body, but you're so much more than a physical body. And yes, nothing could be farther from the truth to think that consciousness arises because of the body. No, that's what science was trying to tell us, during my whole life, but it's not the case. No, it's because of consciousness that bodies were created. And so when we look to the Schumann resonance, it's relatively calm right now, speaking compared to what we've seen in the past, yet doesn't mean there's no change underway, because there is a lot of change. Now, some people were anticipating a minor to moderate geomagnetic storm. It hasn't, as of this recording, hasn't manifested yet. And here it says there is no clear-cut sign of a CME glancing even past Earth. But with that said, again, the BZ component of the interplanetary magnetic field has been pointing south at times. Solar wind speed increased, as well with corona holes now facing Earth, giving us their blessing. And it is a blessing. When you look to, again, the microcosm and the macrocosm, we look over here, and this is like a representation of the inner workings of the brain, which happens to mimic pretty much exactly the universe. That's because, we are truly living in the mind of God, the mind of Source, in more than one way. As above, so below, as within, so without. And you see here, brain cell and the universe. I've loved to show these, the neurons here in the human brain. And this is a simulation of dark matter in space, and also as we see light, the light of the suns, because each sun is in very, very much a manner, they're neurons in the brain of God, so to speak. So, they're relays, and they are portals at the same time. Sun is a portal for hyperdimensional space travel based on sacred geometry. Absolutely. And we can draw energy from the sun in more than one way. We could also draw information, and we can also utilize the sun to help illuminate us and help us to bring about the very best manifested version of ourselves.
I love it. Yes, because what we realize is that we are the sun and the sun is us, and we can have that conversation with the sun, and it's surprisingly easy. It is surprisingly so simple to connect with sun. I feel it is the source of all, because that was my personal experience, was speaking to the sun and how the sun relays information to us. But before I get to the channeling, I just wanted to say, when we do spiritual coaching, that does include rituals, things. If you need to know, okay, what ritual should I do to bring someone closer to me? If you have questions like that, those are answered in spiritual coaching. And it's immediate, and we can give that information. So it is nice to have when you step onto this journey. It's like, how do you learn to work with your surroundings? How do you learn to work with the source of all, with consciousness? And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful way to live. So now this transmission came from Laurel from the Galactic Federation. I really like it. It's really beautiful. So I am going to say what came in. And she says, the sun is not just light. It is a living consciousness, and it is speaking to us now. The solar flare that approaches is not here to harm, but to ignite. It is a sacred gift, a burst of cosmic light to help us shed what no longer serves us and to help us step into our full potential. Let the sun bless you. Let its rays awaken the parts of you that have been dormant. You are ready now to rise, to remember, to radiate. Come to the sun with full awareness. Stand before it with your heart and your soul. And you want to say, this is where the conversation comes in, and it's truly a conversation, and act like you're maybe talking to a friend, but you want to say to the sun, I am ready to be my highest self. Take time to write down your goals and aspirations, not just what you want to do, but who you want to become. What does your fully realized self look like? So you want a picture of that after you do all the writing. How do they move, speak, create, and how do they love? Then when you're in that vibration, you hold it. You hold it not just in your mind, but in your energy field. Your posture, your choices, your voice. Let it live through you today. This is how you pass through the solar gateway, not by effort, but by alignment. So, sorry, I get emotional. Sometimes the energy just kicks in. That's the end of the transmission, and I hope that it reaches someone today.
Mm-hmm. And so, again, not by intense effort. Again, sometimes people could get intimidated by the thought of a meditation practice or putting together a ritual. It's a useful tool to change our state of consciousness so we can move into an alignment with the higher self. And I thought it was really pretty wild that we got a lot of information that we should probably be sharing. I think we should be sharing, not that we're withholding, but sometimes gets forgotten because it comes through, and some of it to me is absolutely mind-blowing. Just for instance, I asked yesterday, how many souls are embodied on Earth? As far as just talking about Homo sapiens, not talking about all the other beings, the ones that have been embodied as Homo sapiens now compared to how many are disembodied. And we got that right now. The ratio is there's 3 disembodied people for every embodied person. But that is not the same case during a golden age or a silver age. Each age has a totally different system and way of being. It is different vibrationally. It's even different in its literal foundational makeup. And when we talk about the golden age, you are embodied as your higher self in a golden age. So you're embodied as basically the totality of your higher self, as opposed to in this age, because this is where we are and have been cut off in some ways from ourselves. and thus, again, cut off from source. And, this is a situation that is being reversed right now. So integrating in daily meditations, rituals, affirmations, mantras, the way we do everything, saying a blessing before you eat anything, giving thanks for that which you're going to consume, but also just giving thanks for each other, giving thanks for all of our relationships in life. There's never too much giving thanks, because that actually puts you into a state of receptivity where you'll be blessed with more. And that's just a wonderful thing, because again, it's not through greed in everything. It's not through arrogance, not through the ego, but through that compassion that's based in the one, because the one understands that we are all individual cells in it, and yet we have a complete universe that's functioning inside of our body, just our physical body, for instance. It's basically occupied full of trillions of different consciousnesses. This is again part of that fractal reality that we see ourselves in. And what is the most dominant energy in our solar system? Well, it's a solar system for that reason. It's the sun. So if you want to connect to source, connect to the oneness, connect to the love, connect to the all, the sun is key. And again, with the dark matrix that is always conspiring to keep us away from the sun, that just says it all. It says it all. So looking at everything as an opportunity to connect to the all, to all the beings that are around you all the time. Your crew, you have a whole pit crew. Just think about it, in that you are the driver inside this amazing Grand Prix racing vehicle. How good an idea would it be for you not to communicate with your crew? I mean, that's just insanity, it just doesn't make any sense. Yet that's what they've had us do. Out of fear. They've created the conditions where we're afraid to connect to our higher self and connect to the all. And again, they've given us the reasoning that there's only one way you can do it, and a dogmatic approach through the system that they give you, so that you end up just simply staying hooked up to the dark matrix. But that time is ending, so it's absolutely time to rejoice. And nothing can speed it along its path off to oblivion than reconnecting with the source of all, which again is in you. And the light from the sun will kindle that and awaken that in you, and basically cause the remembering of who you really are.
I like that analogy, communicating with your pit crew. That couldn't be any better, because you're an entity that is here to roll through things in a little bit different way. And all of your guides and angels, they all have a specialty. They all have a resource to bring to you when you're needed. And all you need to do is ask. It's like, okay, I need this over here. I need that over there. And don't be afraid to ask, no matter how silly it might sound. Ask and see how that comes to you, and just be open to the method in which you receive information. It might come through other people, it might come through song, it might come through thought, it might come through a family, it might come through having to heal yourself through a friend or a family member, it might come through a trigger. So when we do ask for something, keeping that in mind and allowing that energy to flow through us is how we kind of embody this spiritual walk. It's not about, pushing away, the nice things in life. It's about bringing the two closer together, bringing you closer with your mind, body, soul, and how to utilize that for a very good life where you're learning a lot, and you have a lot of wisdom, and then you share that information as people come to you.
Absolutely. So, again, when we look to the sun, it is a being, and at the same time, it is a consciousness. It is the bringer of life to this neighborhood that we find ourselves in. And so many beings, just they know what we haven't known as far as a collective. And you're going to see some strange looking beings. You are, again, we're at a big crossroads right now. And yes, there are going to be some very unusual entities that will be entering the picture. But again, not with fear, but with love. And as we go on our ride through this particular section of the bigger neighborhood, we should be prepared for anything that comes, but never again living in a state of fear, because fear will contract. Fear will keep us from that expansive, loving understanding of the all.
Indeed.
As always, guys, source bless and namaste.
Namaste.